Hello everyone, Another Clouds here, and today guys I'm going to review a LEGO World Racers set released in 2010. So for those who do not know what this sim is, well, it's really simple. It's all about two teams of drivers who race against each other all around the world, of course, and sometimes not the fair way. So that said, I'm going to review the Desert of Destruction set, so the biggest set of the World Racers sim. So this sim was just released in 2010 and does not continue in 2011. So as you can see, you got the LEGO World Racer logo, which is quite nice and show you the world itself, the Earth, with all the different different ways around the world. You can see also the flag right there. Also, let's show you that it's a race 6, and that means there is like 6 sets in this sim. I do not count the two promotional set, and of course you got the content of the set displayed right in your face. So you got like two vehicles, you can see, so one more like a pickup and the other one is more like a buggy, and of course the big truck on the front, on the middle one, and also as you can see you got some podium and stuff like that, some finish line places. So that said, if you look on the top, you got all the guys including the set, so like 8 minifigs, so that's not nothing. In fact, it's quite nice to have all these minifigs in this set. And then of course on the back you got all the gimmicks shown to you. You also have another angle to another shot at the back of the truck and stuff like that, and also it shows you the two names of the team, so the Team Extreme right there and the Backyard Blasters down there. So that said, let's move on to the instruction booklet. So you also have to know that this review will be divided in two parts. The first part will be about the two little vehicles, and the second part, which will of course be posted tomorrow, will be about the truck and the trailer itself. So yes, some instructions booklets, because you got 3 of them. So the first one is not really useful, doesn't really show you anything apart the win page, which might be quite a must-have, of course, for each LEGO instruction booklet. Then the second one got some more interesting ads, displaying you all the sets of the sim, so all the 6 races. And as you can see, there is both vehicle, like a car and stuff like that, and also there is some boats, which is quite nice. But no plane, apart from this little helicopter right there. And also some LEGO Racer ads. And the third instruction booklet features, well, what is it features? Well, all the gimmicks already shown on the back of the box, so stuff like that. Then 4 pages of parts list. Another shot at all the elements in the set, as you can see. Then some Atlantis ad, and then the 2 teams, as you can see. With there is 3 pilots in each team, as you can see, and in this set we are just gonna have 2 pilots per team, and then all the sets but in their boxes, yes. So that's done. Now let's move on to the minifig of the set. So on this first part, I'm just going to review 5 minifigs, so each teams and the referee. So let's begin with the Team Extreme. Excuse me, just that. Like that. So as you can see, both of them got some unique torso. You can see torso print. And they also got some leg print, of course, a print on the front of the head and also on the back of the head. So there is double-sided on the they got 2 prints for their faces, and also as you can see there is some back printing, and once again the 2 of them are different. So really it's really some great minifigs design, I have to admit, because it's really unique, full of details, plus each of these guys got their unique torso print and also back print, so it's they're really unique things. Then you got the helmet, which also got some nice print on the front, on the top, but this time the two prints are similar, but still it's really nice. So I'm just going to show you once again the front face and the back one. Yeah. Like that. And I think this helmet were maybe first released with the Space Police theme, but I may be wrong. Now let's move on to the backyard blasters, the second team of drivers. Once again, each of them got a unique torso print, as you can see. Of course, they got their some nice head on some nice details on the head, as you can see. But this time there is no prints on the legs. And once again, the back printing, both on of course, on their faces and also on their back. As you can see, it's different, even with just little detail, but still it's different, so quite nice. And I really like the head with the thing on his mouth. It's on his mouth, yes, it's quite nice. And once again, some more classical helmets, but still with the nice prints. Of course, representing the Backyard Blasters logo. And the final minifig is the referee, which got once again a back printing, well, a print on his front and on his back, his torso. And it's quite classical in comparison to the other pilots, a little less detail, I think, but it still looks pretty nice and quite cool. And of course, yes, it comes with his flag. And also, you have to notice that this flag it's stickers and not a pretend part. But well, let's move on, because I think I've already lost tons of time talking about the minifigs, but they're really great. That's just all you need to know. So let's move on to the first element of building, which is the I don't know, podium. Yes, well, I think it's called podium in French, but I'm not sure it's the same in English, or the finish line, call it whatever you want. So it's quite nice. Of course, it's made with some plates, some slab bricks, stuff like that, some plants here and there, some works, really a nice sense of details. The only problem here with this part is that, well, it's quite stupid, because there is just two teams, not like three teams. So of course, I understand you're supposed to put, for example, if the team extreme wheel, you're supposed to put these guys like that, and then the backup blaster guy on the third place, but I found it pretty stupid. I would have liked it better if it was just like 2 steps to put the two teams together, in fact, and not 3 steps, because it's not really useful. I mean, they are both on the same vehicle, so. But well, that just maybe me, but I think it could have been done a little more in a more original way than this classical way. Also, the Winner's Cup right there, you can see. And that said, let's move on to the vehicles. So, excuse me. So yes, first we're gonna talk about the Extreme Team's Boogie. So, the frame, as you can see, is mostly made with this system bricks with pinholes. You can notice this one, which is not at the same height as the other, which will be useful to link the rear wheels. So, thanks, of course, to this technique axle. This part right here is just useful, I think, to link this to this black parts. You can see also the front axle here, which of course will be useful to link the front wheels. Then some details on the front, which might look like some type of suspension. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be, but I take it for some details of suspension. But that's maybe just me. Then some slop and curved brake on the front, the steering wheel, the first seat, which is not really a seat apart from this part, the second seat, kind of, and then some bricks. Notice these bricks with the pinholes, which will be useful later on. That said, let's first link this big curved lime green parts on the side to add, of course, the overall shape of the vehicle. Also notice this plate which follows the shape of this part, very nice. Then I'm going to link this little part right there. And then I'm going to link this part, which is quite useful. So as you can see, it's all about this part with some grid and some bricks with pinholes. Then we're going to have an attach point here to attach this part, which will be useful because it will cover the motor, so the engine, excuse me, the engine, so it's quite useful. And then you got this part, which is mostly made, which is, well, exclusively made of Technic bricks, and which will be useful to cover the, to protect the pilots. And of course, it can be open or closed the same way as this part on the back. So it will be linked like that. Then I'm going to link the motor, the engine, excuse me, the engine, so which is made with this part. As you can see, some little parts all over the place. This part, this light gray part, which are quite useful to link some parts on the sides and not just on the top of it. So some studs technique for studs not on the top, of course. Snot technique, excuse me, snot. So snot technique. Right there, so like I said, you can close it or open it, and as you can see, it just links on 2 studs because you will be able to change the engine during the race, because there is 2 engines in this set. And well, we are mostly there, so not just one element. Is once again some Technic elements in this Technic panels with some also a flick fire missile on the top of it, which are also linked like that. And that will be linked on this white part I've talked about earlier. So, it will be linked here, and there, and now we are nearly finished. I just have to link the wheels. So first, the rear one, then the front one, and here we go. The model is finished, so I'm just going to do a little turnaround. Of the vehicle, and then talk, of course, about gimmicks and stuff like that. So first, maybe a comparison size between the two pilots in this team and the vehicle. Excuse me. Like that. So of course the first gimmick is that you can open or close this protection part. You can also open or close, like I said, the engine, the part which covers the engine. You can put in or off the engine quite easily. That's really a part of the playability of this set. And finally, you got the flick fire missile. So this missile, you're just supposed to push your finger against the light gray part, and they're supposed to launch. So that may fail because first of all, well, they point on the ground, so of course it's quite hard. But you can still try to do, yes, all over the place. You can still try to do some. Sometimes it works. That's what I want to mean. Sometimes it works, but seriously, it's well. It's not really interesting or good or anything like that. It's okay, but still, it's some playability features. Otherwise, and of course, it can roll because it's a car, so no problem with that. That said, let's move on to the second vehicle, so the ones owned by the backyard blasters. And well, this time it's not really a buggy; it's more like a pickup. So, well, once again, we're gonna use this big system part with pinholes as a frame. Then under this frame, I'm going to link this part, which are quite useful first, well, to link this wet part on the side and to add more details. So, well, thanks to the studs on the side. Also, it will add some details thanks to this part, which as you can see are some bricks which were at the time used to make some wall of of wood. And then also it will be useful to block this system part on this plate, the system part which is linked directly through this axle right there, as you can see. And this technique part on both sides will be useful to link the wheels. So that said, let's move on to the vehicle itself. So first, the back, which one seat, panel control, which will be useful later on. So of course here it's not complete. Second seat, steering wheel, this part with some articulated hinges, which will be useful once again later on. And well, this part, which I'm going to cover right now. So first, I'm going to add an engine motor part on top of a brick. Notice the little sticker, which is quite nice. And then I'm going to link the front of the vehicle. So the front of the vehicle is mostly made of little parts to link it to make it strong, and also some other parts like this curved slope bricks on the front, this grid bricks right there, some also exhaust part here, this L-shaped part which will be useful to link what is the front of the vehicle, and then also notice little lights right there. So many little parts all over the place, and it will be linked just like that. So yeah, now I'm going to increase the front of the vehicle, so it looks like that, so some grids, lights, and this part on the bottom of it, which are pretty nice in terms of details. I'm going to link it, of course, on the studs on the front. And here we go. It's linked. Then I'm going maybe just to add the windshield, because yes, there is a windshield, but not maybe the one you might expect, because this one is made with this type of part, which is quite original and kind of give it a post-apocalyptic feeling or stuff like that, you know, do-it-yourself feeling with this type of windshield. Then I'm going to link the control panel on the back, so made with some slope bricks and these stickers. The lights on top of that are not maybe the best one. The best one I think for a pickup, because I think there is too thin in terms of size and design, but that's maybe just me. And then I'm going to link some part on the sides easily, thanks to this long technique panels plus this part right there, which will be linked to the pieces I mentioned earlier on the front. Do this on both sides, and here you go. It's finished. Well, it's finished, at least the body, but because now I'm going to link the wheels, which, as you can see, are made quite easily. Just notice this part right there. It will be, of course, be linked here. Oh yes, it's mostly finished, but I was going to forget an element, the last element of this set, because as you can see, it looks quite good, but well, LEGO decided to add some more guns, and so they decided to add this bionicle part, so Medak Sky Blaster, or well, just a cannon, a big cannon for those who are not used of the bionicle terms and stuff like that, while not with connectors, ball joint, and of course, thanks to this T-shaped part, it will be linked on the back of the pickup, thanks to this brick with an axle hole. And okay, I hate when it's just falling down. And here we go, you got the finished vehicle. So now I'm going to do a little turnaround, then comparison size, gimmicks, and then that will be all for this first part of my Desert of Destruction video review. The second part will be uploaded tomorrow, of course. And it will feature the truck and the trailer themselves. Well, I'm not really sure. Yes, so now the comparison size. Like that. And now I'm going to put the pilots in there. So first maybe the one on the control panel section. Okay. it's better if the part just stands there and does not fall off. Well, that said, it keeps falling off right there. Oh, so yeah. So the gimmick. So first the wheels, well, it's really cool because in comparison to the other vehicle, which is just about an axle, here it's a little more sophisticated because, as you can see, we can first move this up or down, and also can move it on the side. So this means it's pretty well articulated, as you can see. You can really do whatever you want, and some great suspension. So really, you've got the pickup feeling with these wheels. Then, of course, you can move up or down the windshield, but you're not supposed to. You can move this on the side. And of course, finally, the gun is mounted on ball joint. This means you can turn this all over you want, in the position you want. And of course, it can be fired like that. Notice also that this is some tan or beige ball, Zimmer ball for those who are interested into bionicle parts with colors. Oh, and yes, also notice that this part, of course, is articulated, so you can move it the way you want. So it can be useful if you want, for example, to trap your opponent, but I'm not really sure it was supposed to be a gimmick at first. But hey, and if you want, also, you can make it a transformer, like a plane or stuff like that. So, well, I'm not really supposed you it's supposed to be like that, but still, it's all about your imaginations, guys. So, that said, let's move on to the sum up of this first part of the review with these two vehicles, like that. No, okay. Going to add this little guy right there. And here we go. So, to sum up, first the minifigs. So, like I said, the minifigs are all great. They are all pretty well detailed. Got unique torso, both on the both on the front and on the back. The same goes for their head. So, seriously, it's all good, and they are really well designed, and they do not suffer the comparison with some other minifigs. From, for example, Atlantis, Space Police, Indiana Jones, or whatever. No, seriously, even if the sim was not really maybe the most interesting sim of 2010, excuse me, at least it got some really unique minifigs and which are pretty well detailed. Yes, so like I said, this part is quite interesting. It's well designed and well detailed, but I think it could have been done better in a more original way because 3 places for just 2 teams seems quite stupid for me. So like I said, you can of course put the 3 guys in there, but I think just 2 steps to put the 2 teams 1 and 2nd place would have been a lot better and more original. But well, it's maybe just my opinion. Then, of course, also an overall complaint is that the set relies really on stickers. There is tons of stickers, so for those who do not like stickers, well, you might want to pass on this set because, well, they really add details and stuff like that on all the vehicles, but that might not please everyone to have to put like 10 or 20 stickers per vehicle. I do not have the exact number, of course, but well. I remember it was quite a pain to put all of them. Even if I'm not really a stickers hater, by the way. But well, let's move on. Yes, to this vehicle. So the complaint I have with this set is that first, it doesn't really feature tons of parts. It's mostly technique parts for the frame and for this part and for the panels used right there. So it's mostly technique parts, but most of all, I think this part right here, the part to protect the 2 pilots, I always thought that it was oversized in comparison to the overall vehicle. To the overall design, it's kind of breaks the design of the overall vehicle because the vehicle is, I think, it's quite thin and small and stuff like that, and boom, you got this big blocky part up there. So I always thought it breaks the design. So now I got this set some months ago. So I get used to it, and I think it's not that bad. But still, I think they maybe could have done this better. Maybe make it look like it fit, make it fit more with the overall design than what it's like now. So yes, maybe to make it fit more, but that maybe just me. So yes, you get used to it, but at first I still thought it was maybe too big for the overall design of this set. And then apart from that, I do not have anything to say. So yes, the flick fire missile works when they feel they want, or maybe it just means that do it wrong, but well, don't know. And well, I really like also the motor, which can be moved on or off, or well, which can be put off or out or in this part. So it's still a nice vehicle, but some little complaints on the overall design. But still, it's really nice and really got this buggy feeling. And then move on to this vehicle. So the first complaint I have with this vehicle is that, well, seriously, I do not understand why you choose to put a hole in there. It can be easily replaced with just a brick, of course, but I do not know why letting this space open, because if you see, you already see all the frame. If you look on the side, so of course it's a pickup or a monster truck, so you get used to things like that, but not a big hole in the front of the engine parts. So yes, quite disappointing. Other complaint I have is this part, like I said, which the lights, I think they are not big enough for a pickup. They look too thin. And then this big blocky vehicle cannon on the back, and well, I'm a big vehicle fan, but I think it just looked bad to put this big thing on the back and let it go. I mean, the flick fire missile are not really good, but at least they feel like there is a part of all the system stuff and all the system elements. Here, it just feel out of place and just feel I mean, too big for the overall vehicle. Even if it's a pickup, I think it's just too big. So at least it adds to the playability. I can't deny that, but well, okay, it's I'm not really sure about that. But overall, apart the 3 complaints, it's all good. I really like the windshield here. It's really a nice idea. The front is wonderfully made. The control panel is quite original. Here, this part, of course, well, they are technical parts, but they look good. So yes, I have to admit that it's really a good vehicle apart from the complaints I have mentioned. But yeah, both of them are really good vehicles. They really got some different and unique designs, so that really makes them well, different from each other, and it's really a good point to this set. But well, I'm not going to do an overall sum up of the set, because well, I have just talked about 50% of this set. So well, hope you enjoy this first part of this review, guys. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask them. And of course, tomorrow I will I will do the second part of this review, which will be about the truck and the trailer. So well, hope you will watch it. And well, that's all, guys. So hope you enjoyed this review, this first part of the review, and see you later for well, see you tomorrow for the second part of the review, and then see you later for another video reviews. Bye bye.